Some people will say, but this just reflects what happens in practice. This is what happens in reality. Our media is reflecting what happens in reality. When the media shows two people in a relationship, for the majority of the occasions they show a brunette man and a blonde female. But is this the typical relationship of our society? Well, obviously not, because society doesn't just have brunette men and bleached blonde women. For every blonde woman there's also a blonde man, and every brunette man there's also a brunette woman. Society doesn't have more blonde women and more brunette men than anyone else. We know that. And there are millions of other people in society who look different as well. In fact, it's obvious that there are more people who don't fit this stereotype than do. But apart from the very rare occasion when we see, for example, Kirsten Dunst and Spider-Man with ginger hair, the media keeps on showing the same types of humans, again and again and again. These are the media favourites. We're all familiar with them because we see them most of the time. The people we see most often are the bleached blonde women. Then we practically always see a brunette man. Then we often see a brunette woman, but not in the same way as we see a blonde woman. And then sometimes we see a black man. But apart from these four groups, we rarely see anyone else from society. No one ever sees ginger-haired men. Very rarely do we see ginger women, and very rarely do we see blonde-haired men. And we never see dark blonde women without bleach. Black females are usually only shown in black media productions, and I'm being quite honest here that when they are shown in the Western media productions, they're mostly older, fat, or unattractive. And as far as the United Kingdom goes, we can just forget the Asians and Latinos, they don't even exist. These other groups are rarely shown as being desirable or attractive to the opposite sex, and according to the media, most of them don't even exist. Choosing a bleached blonde woman and a brunette man for the vast majority of the occasions is not representing a normal society. It's not normal to keep on seeing the media favourites as though they represent the whole of society, or as though these are the only people that people want to see. What's going on if we're only allowed to see a few types of human beings in the media, but not others? What's mentally wrong if the media says that some human beings don't exist, but you're forced to watch brunette men and blonde women all the time? How can people in the media keep on making media productions that deliberately cut some people out of the picture? Does this sound like freedom and equality and letting people live how they want to live? Or does it sound more like freedom for some people and letting some people live how they want and not giving a damn about the rest? My point is that other people have relationships too, and to keep on showing the main relationship as being between a brunette man and a blonde woman is just not true, and it's weird to keep seeing it all the time like it's the only thing that exists. Some people will then mock and say, then do you also expect us to put disabled or fat people in the media as well? These people are generally extremely ignorant. But sadly, there are millions of them. So I'm going to give the answer now before I have millions of pathetic comments on this video. My question is, what's your point? Larger people exist and are beautiful and should be accepted because they live in society. And disabled people also exist, and they're just as important as the media favourites. Saying only some humans are good enough to be in the media is ironically ugly. Cutting some human beings out of the human picture is freakish and abnormal. Some people will say it's because blonde hair is so rare. Well, yes, natural blonde hair is rare, but ginger hair is even more rare. But we don't see ginger hair, remember? Nor do we see the rare blonde male hair. This excuse just doesn't wash. And even if it is rare, why can't something that's rare be appreciated for what it is, instead of being better than everything else? Some people will say, oh, it's because blonde hair stands out. This argument sounds good, but it's nonsense, because a blonde person will stand out in a group of brunettes, but a brunette will also stand out in a group of blondes. Perhaps before bleach was invented, it did stand out, and that's maybe how it started, but to say it's rare or stands out today is a joke. Some people will say blonde hair is brighter, so it looks better on the TV screens. So, why don't we see all the men with blonde hair in the media as well? It's not impossible to make a very bright advert with brunette characters, and it's very easy to create a boring advert with a blonde blue-eyed character. It seems like this is not rocket science for anyone apart from the brainless and mechanical media workers. Some people will say, but the rule is that light is good, and the rule says that dark is bad. Thousands of people have suffered because of Western associations with darkness and evil. Please find my video called The Light Dark Fantasy, where I deal with these points in depth. Otherwise, at the moment, I'll just say that this is a very serious and dangerous misconception. These ideas are culturally determined and have no relation to reality. It's quite ironic to say that darker people are bad, when it's the darker people who have to suffer, when lighter people are promoted as better than them. Showing angels with blonde hair and portraying blonde hair as a sign of purity creates a stereotype, not for cartoon characters that don't exist, but for real human beings. Creating the idea that some people are more genuine, more happy, more honest, good and attractive than other people is going to create a very warped and unbalanced society, where only some people can really feel like they belong here. If you keep on making blonde women the stars of Hollywood, if you say that blonde hair is somehow a symbol of celebrity, you're saying that people with blonde hair, a particular group of humans who have particular genes, are more important than other human beings who almost have surreal qualities. The people who make these angelic connections may very well feel that blonde women are better than them, but I don't. And I think a lot of other people don't feel that way as well. Keeping on promoting some human beings as sort of special figures is not a normal thing to do. You're giving some human beings angelic and superhuman qualities, and that's not right. Some people will say, oh, well, blonde hair and blue eyes are similar to the colours of the sun and the sea, and these are very relaxing colours. Well, yes, they may be relaxing colours, but would you say that they're particularly feminine? And if these colours are so good, where are the blonde and blue-eyed men in the media? And if you think about it, the brunette women with brown hair and green eyes have similar colours to trees. Trees are very relaxing and nice to look at, so why don't we see tree people as well?